Right. All of you try doing this question. We'll be discussing this. Those who have the tune, it's the page number 7. Those who have the tune, it's the page number 7. I'll be discussing the question at 16. Those who are done with the question, you can raise your hand, the participants. Done with both, Roman number 1, Roman number 2. Once done with both, raise your hand, the participants list. Yeah, you are doing there. Others, you'll have only 1 more minute. Quick. Right. Your time's up. So let's start the discussion from here. So how was the question? This is the 2017 past paper. So how was this question? Must have been very easy. Ne? Exactly. This would have been a Jujupi question for you. Just a piece of cake. Right. Let's do the question. The following flowchart shows an algorithm that reads two numbers and displays a small number. Write the pseudocode for the algorithm and flowchart. Easy. So we start in what you call in pseudocode. We mentioned start normally using the word begin. Right. So I'm going to write here begin. Next, we have something called input A and B. You can write the same thing in pseudocode as well. Input A comma B. Next, we have something is A greater than B. Okay. Normally, if you take a pseudocode to do a selection, we call this a selection, right? You have to make a choice. You have a condition here, and sorry, you have a not a selection, a condition. Okay. So you can see there's a condition here. Looking at this condition, you will notice, right? Based on this condition, you will be selecting two paths. You will be selecting two paths. Look at this flowchart and tell me how many times do you think this condition will be checked? Is this condition going to be checked only once, or looking at the structure, is there going to be a repetition? Only once, or is there a repetition? Further, I'll be so Lamha, I dispatched today only. You'll be getting it tomorrow. Exactly. See, if you go to the right hand side, it'll go towards display B, and again it'll go towards end. If you go the left hand side, it will display A and it will go to again the end. So keep in mind, if the condition is going to be executed only once, okay, if the condition is going to be executed only once, it's going to be a selection statement. So you can use if then else. But if the condition is going to be repeated, okay, again and again, if the condition is going to be checked, okay, if the check is going to be, if the condition is going to be, what do you call, executed more than one time, then keep in mind it's a repetition structure, okay. So you can use a while loop mostly in those kind of scenarios, right? So here, because it's only one time, so you can see the condition is being checked only one times, you can make the conclusion it's a selection, right? So in pseudocode to write a selection statement, we can use the if then else part, right? So I'm going to use here if A is greater than B, then okay. If A is greater than B, then okay. After you use the word then, you should mention what to do if the condition is true. Now, based on this flowchart, tell me if this condition is true, what has to be done? That means if this condition is going to give you yes, true means yes, nay. If it's going to give you yes, what is the thing we have to do? We have to display B. So I'm going to mention if A is greater than B, then display B. Then I mentioned the word else. Else is used to mention, after else we mention what to do if the condition is false. Now, if the condition is false, right, they basically, this condition is false means it's going to give you no, no. If the condition is false, what has to be done? Exactly. If it's false, we're a display A. If it's false, we're a display A. Always keep in mind in pseudocode, whenever you start a if statement, you have to mention the end if as well. Whenever you open the if condition, you have to close it using the end if as well. And then you can see after the display A, you're going to go to stop. Okay. Normally we mention stop in pseudocode using the keyword called end. So this is how the pseudocode would be. Is that clear, all of you? So keep in mind, the selection structure will have if, then, else, and if. Between then and else only you mention the true statements. Between else and if you mention the false statement. Anyone having any questions here? Right. So you can put the marks like this. For begin, 1 mark. For end, 1 mark. Want the words be in capital, not compulsory. If you want, you can do capital. If you want, you can do simple. There is no any compulsory in that. And then for input A comma B, if it's correct, give 1 mark. And then if you had mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 marks remaining. If you had mentioned up this part, 1 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I mention this part, 1 mark. From else, display A and if. These three statements, 1 mark. If A is greater than B, then display B. That's 1 mark. Okay. Oh no, wait. I can make the marks like this. Wait, a small change. If A is greater than B, up to here 1 mark. For end if 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give the marks like this. Is this the true marks distribution? No. Anyways, there's going to be 5 marks for this question. 5 marks is the true marks. I'm breaking the 5 marks the way I want. Okay, so based on that, tell me out of 5 marks, how much did you get? Okay, not bad. Those who got it wrong or those who got less than 5 marks, basically, I will clear with my answer. 4 because I forgot to put the end if. Devata. Okay, perfect. Let's go for the next one. The following flowchart reads 3 numbers and finds the smallest. Write down the correct expression for the labels P and Q. Fine. First of all, input A, B, C. So they are going to take 3 numbers, right? The first number, let's say A, second number, let's say B, and third number, let's say C. First, we're checking is the first number greater than the second number. Okay, we're going to check if the first number is greater than second number. And then if it's yes, okay, that means basically we have 3 numbers. Okay, we have A, B, C. We have 3 numbers. First, you are going to check is A greater than B. Okay, is A greater than B? If A is greater than B, second, what should you check? Now we want to keep in mind, we want to find the smallest. Okay, if you want to find the smallest, you have to compare. But should you compare A with C or B with C? What do you think? I'm saying We first of all we compare is A greater than B. Okay. If this condition gives you true, now I have to compare what with C. Right. The purpose of this program is to find the smallest. Okay. The purpose of this program is to find the smallest. Right. So let's say we have three people. Okay. Let's say we have three people. Okay. Let's say we have a person called Amal. We have a person called Bimal. And we have a person called whom? Shamal. Exactly. Okay. Amal, Bimal, Shamal. So let's say Amal has 10 toffees, Bimal has 40 toffees, and Chamal has 5 toffees. 5 toffees. Okay. Amal has 10 toffees, Bimal has 40 toffees, Chamal has 5 toffees. I want to find who has the least amount of toffees. I want to find who has the least amount of toffees. Right. So first of all, what I did is I checked and I first of all checked, does Amal have more than Bimal toffees? I first of all check who has does Amal have more than Bimal. Okay. Now let's say Amal, when I check is Amal have more than Bimal, this is going to give me now in our scenario this is going to give me false. Okay. But let's say this gave me true. Let's say this gave me true. If this gave me true, what should I do next? For example, let's say instead of 10 and 40, let me take a different example. Let me take let's this bugger has 40, this bugger has 10, and this bugger has 5. Example. Okay. So I'm going to check does Amal have more than Bimal? It's gave me true. Now what should I do? Now I should compare whom and whom. Again, keep in mind, I want to find the least of it. Yeah? Who has the least of it? Yes. When I compare Amal and Bimal, if I know that Amal has more, I basically want the least. No. Now I know, okay, when you compare Amal and Bimal, Bimal has the least. Okay. So if this condition is giving me true, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare Bimal with Chamal. That means I'm going to compare, let's say, is B greater than C? Okay. I'm going to compare is B greater than C. If B is greater than C, okay, if B is greater than C, now tell me who has the least amount of toffees? Exactly. If degree is greater than C, that means Chamal has the least amount of toffees. But when I'm checking is B greater than C, if this give me false, now who has the least amount of toffees? Exactly. Now you can say Bimal has the least amount of toffees, right? Now A and B, here we're checking is Amal or Bimal having the least amount of toffee. Okay. Let's say if Amal is greater, now we ignore Amal. We know Amal has a greater means obviously we ignore that bug. Now we go for the next fellow, B and C, something like that. Let me implement the same logic inside this flowchart as well. Here I'm checking if A is greater than B. Okay. If this gives true, if A is greater than B, if this bug gives true, this means that A is larger and B is smaller. Okay, so now for out of these, when if this give me true, now I know okay B is smaller. If this give me true, now I know B is smaller. Comparatively, B is smaller. So now when it's giving me true, now I have to check what B and C. Now I check B and C. So let's say in P, okay, for the condition label P, let's say I'm going to write is B greater than C. Is B greater than C. If this condition gives me true, okay, if this condition also give me true, that means who is the smallest? Exactly. C is smaller. If B is greater than C, that means C is smaller. Now you can see here, I have a condition. If I write the condition here as is B greater than C, and if it's yes, if I'm displaying C, see displaying C means Anna C is smaller, right? Anna, you can see C is smaller. So based on that, you can make the conclusion. Fine. This condition, the condition that should be there here is B greater than C. Why P is not A greater than C? Okay, so you're asking why P is not A greater than C. Now, when I compare A and B, okay, when I compare A and B, I know A is larger. Okay, so out of three people, okay, out of three people, if I come, let's say I have Amal, Bimal, and Samal, I compare Amal and Bimal. When I compare Amal and Bimal, I know Amal has the largest. If I know Amal has the largest, should I compare Amal and Chamal to find who is the smallest, or Amal and Bimal? Sorry, Bimal and Chamal. I compared first of all Amal and Bimal. When I compare Amal and Bimal, I know that Amal has more chocolates, okay, or more toffees. So once I know Amal has more toffees, to find who has the least amount of toffee, should I compare Bimal with Chamal or should I compare Amal with Chamal? I should compare Bimal, ne? Isn't it? Because this bugger is the fellow who has the largest. If this is giving me true, this is the fellow who has the largest. If this is giving me true, this is bugger who has the largest. But the question is talking about what? I want the smallest. So if this is giving me true, Obviously, I know Amal is not going to be the smallest. Like if this give me true, obviously I know Amal is not the smallest. No? So now I had to compare Bimal and Chamal only. Is that clear, Mario? Right. Okay. So I'm going to say P is going to be is B greater than C. Right. So you can see if it's false, it's displaying B as we discussed earlier. Similarly, if you go for the other side, that is, if the condition is giving you false, for example, we're now going to check is A greater than B. If this condition gives you false, if this condition is going to give you false, now tell me who is the smallest in that case, A small or B small? I'm going to check is A greater than B, and that condition is giving me false. So who is the smallest? Exactly. Out of them, A is small. So if I know out of A and B, A is small, I have to compare the remaining person with whom? Should I compare the remaining person with A or should I compare the remaining person with C? Sorry, should I compare the remaining? Sorry, no, what do you call? Yeah, should I compare the remaining person with A or B? A or B? Sorry, A or B. Remaining one is C, no? To find the small overall smallest, I have to compare C with A or C with B to find the smallest. Exactly. I have to compare with A. I have to compare with A. So what I'm going to do is, if I let's say I wrote for Q, okay. For Q, there could be two conditions. Either I can write is A greater than C, or I should write is A less than C. Okay. It should be either A is greater or less. No. Let's see what is more suitable. If I mention A is greater than C, okay. If I mention A is greater than C, let's say I mention A is greater than C. If I mention A is greater than C, and if this condition gives me true, okay, if I mention if A is greater than C and this gives me true, overall, who is the smallest? A is small or C is small? I'm going to check is A greater than C. And if that condition gives me true, then who will be smallest? C will be smallest. Okay. If I mention A is less than C, okay, is A less than C? And if this condition now gives me true, who is the smallest? If I check is A less than C and it's giving me true? Exactly. Then A is small. Okay. If you look at the condition, if you notice, if the condition is true, are we displaying A, or if the condition is true, are we displaying C? If you look at the flow chart, if the condition is true, what is being displayed? C is being displayed. Okay. So based on that, tell me if C is being displayed, so what should be the condition? Should the condition be A greater than C or A less than C? Exactly. The condition should be is A greater than C. Is that clear? Of you? Do you understand how I found Q? No? So I found for now I have found that P is going to be is B greater than C, and I found that Q is going to be is A greater than C. Perfect. Now the remaining one. Where is remaining fellow? Ah, only P and Q. Sorry, I thought there's three statements. Okay. So that is how we found that P is B is greater than C and Q is A is greater than C, right? So you can break the marks here. It's not equal. I thought there's three. How should I break the marks? So let me give here 2.5 and 2.5. Should we show the workings? No, there is no workings, man. It's just a logics. But without doing workings, I mean, your brain, if your brain can handle it, fine. No, there is no workings here, basically. It's just scribblings. You just have to do trial. There's something called trial and error. If you do trial and error, you can find the answer. So to do trial and error, you just like do some scribblings or in a mind, if you process it, you can find it. Anyways, so put 2.5 marks, 2.5 marks there, and tell me how much marks you got. You're making the question complicated. Find the remaining ones. Do you know what is the main purpose of the discussion here? The main purpose of the discussion here is not to give you the correct answer. There is two purposes, right? One of the purpose is to show how to find the correct answer. That means like step by step. First of all, how your brain should process the question. That's one thing. Okay, first thing is to show how to reach the answer. Second thing is to know the wrong answer. Because if you know what is the wrong answer, then obviously you know what is the correct answer as well. Because in certain questions, okay, certain questions you have to evaluate certain times, not in the correct way. I mean, incorrect. Best is example. I mean, sorry, MCQ. So we didn't still start MCQs here. Normal MCQs, that's the mode. MCQs normally if you want to get it correct, You should know what the wrong answer is sometimes. Then only you can find the correct answer. In the long run, you will be getting used to it. But yeah, should we put the question mark in the answer? No, because question mark is already there. Only the labels has to be redefined. Okay, perfect. All of majority of you have got five. Those who was not able to get five, or those who not was not able to find answer, I will clear my answer basically. Okay, perfect. Let's go for the next one. What is the question? The following flowchart uses the rule that sum of any two numbers must be greater than. Okay. This question is a bit, in terms of logic, this is one of the most stupidest question. So forget the fact that you have a brain. I mean, partially forget the fact. I mean, I don't. I'm pretty sure none of you will have a brain. That's a different story. But if you all have brain, forget the fact that you have a brain when doing this question. Okay, because there is a bit of stupid logics in this question. Just do the question without thinking too much. Okay. I'll give you 10 minutes for this. So the time now is 7:28. 7:28 can 7:30. I'll give 12 minutes to do. 7:40. See, 6:40, 6:40. They are wrong. A length can be more than some. No, no, that is not the logic. When there is no logical errors there. Logical error is somewhere else. As I said, you all don't have brains to find out where the logical error is. So don't worry. I mean, if you all feel somewhere logic is going wrong, don't think about it too much. The once you're done, raise your hand in the participants list. And if you have any questions, you can drop in the chat. But I mean, it's like you have to be good in I maths to get that doubt itself. What to do if there is no brain? I mean, majority of you don't have brain, so don't worry. Like, I mean, you can find the answers. I'm not really find the answers harder. I'm saying find don't like if you come across there's an error in this question, just ignore the error. Like error means like if you feel like logical error, the math is not mathing something. That's why I said don't think mathematically. Think forget that you know a subject called maths. Because if you're too good at maths, you will be getting a that your brain will point out there's some issue your brain will be pointing out immediately. But for that you have to be very good at maths. I mean logically you have to be good at maths. Anyways, enjoy this question. You're underestimating. No, really. If I'm underestimating, then tell me what is. I mean, not others don't tell me. You tell me what is the exact error in this question. Then. That's not the logic. No, not a math. No, there is not a printing mistake. No, I said there is a logical error. You will not figure it out. You have to use your brain power to the maximum to figure out that. And I'm pretty sure none of you will have a brain. It's just don't wait. Exactly. Okay, there is one intelligent person. One person figured out. It's Salma. You have to use your brains, man. The question doesn't have any mistakes. The question is perfect. Only thing is, it's stupid in simple terms if I'm talking. So don't think about what the error is. Just do the question. You're unwantedly thinking unwanted stuffs. Like you're running out of the bush. Just do the question. You scoring 85 in maths but can't find this. You should not for to get that logical part. Not 85 in maths is enough. You to get more than 95 in maths. Or at least 90, 99. I get 90. And see, the person who got that gets 98, and I'm also a person who gets that range of marks. Better luck next life. We will end. Fine, fine. No, no, no. How much do you score in maths? I score between 90 to 100. Depends. Sometimes 100, sometimes. Don't worry, I'm very good in maths. So don't think about that. There are 5 minutes remaining. Yeah, yeah, WhatsApp is screenshot of that. I'll check. That is not an issue. If two lengths are equal, is not an issue in this question. Will you tell the error? Yes, I will tell the error. Before I tell the error, I'll ask you a question, and the question will find you will itself find out the error. It's not an error actually. It's a logical error. It's not a technical error, or it's not basically the program doesn't have any mistake. Nothing like that. The only fact is it's a stupid program. All the angles should not be obtuse. No, he's not talking about angles. It's talking about lengths. Exactly. Do you think these idiots will understand that? And I can guarantee, man, that you all are very, very weak at logics. Kana Parasayagi. No, the reasoning was there. That's the answer, no, Azam. My question is not the answer of the question. We'll have 2 more minutes. Only six of you are done. What, man? Quick, quick, quick. Something. Output could be whether it's a triangle or not, right? Yes, that's what the output is. One more minute you'll have. Only 11 of you all have completed. They are busy in finding that exactly. If they focus on finding the answer, they'll find that. That's a fun fact. We have just a minute remaining. Okay, time up. I found the answer, but not there. Okay, fine. Right. A simple question to you all. Tell me in what scenario will this program now? Okay, I'll just tell you the answer now itself. Okay, I mean what RNS is. Okay, R is basically if AB is great, if the rule that sum of any two lengths must be greater than yeah. So basically, S is basically sum of any two lengths must be greater than the remaining in a triangle. So sum of any two lengths. Yeah, this should be is a triangle. ABC is a triangle, and R is basically ABC is not a triangle. Okay. Tell me what are the instances this program might give you a false. We have the values AB, BC, AC. Let's say I enter for all three 1, 1, 1. Okay. So in AB is greater than BC plus AC, you're going to check is AB greater than BC plus AC. So BC plus AC is 1 plus 1 or 2. You're going to check is 2, 1 greater than 2. False, you're going to go to Q. So here you're checking AB, here you're checking AC. So let's say in Q you're going to check BC. So you're going to check is BC greater than AB plus AC. Okay. So we're not going to check is BC greater than AB plus AC. That's going to be 1 plus 1. That's going to give you 2. You're going to check. Anyway, you check. Why am I stuck? Is my video stuck? Does it look like my video is stuck? Bye bye. Oh, this fellow. Yeah. So the thing is, whatever way you check, always this program is going to give you what you call ABC triangle. I mean, you will be not getting a scenario where this will give you false actually. That's the fact which I was talking about. But again, let's keep that aside. I'll come to the discussion later on. No? The fact is that this is an unwanted question because imagine we have a triangle. Okay. If we have the facts as ABC, okay, if we have the side as ABC, any values these are going to get, okay, any values these are going to get, you can form a triangle. Whether it's going to be, let's say, 10, 1, and 3, the 2, 7, 6, the killer. Whatever numbers you name, it can be a triangle. Tell me one combination that you can't say it's a triangle. Is there one combination you can, okay, if AB is this, BC is this, AC is this, it can't be a triangle. Is there any combination? I mean, what do you call, if it's like that, then it won't be BC. It will be C and an endpoint. Okay. If it's a triangle, I mean, if the line is called BC, okay, if the line is going to be called as BC, obviously it's touching B and it's touching C. Okay. So there is like a logical error. So, like, anyways, it's going to be a triangle, is the question, the fact here. If you understood that, good. If you did not understand, just forget about it. It's just a bit of unwanted stuff which I was telling you. But anyways, let's do this program. Let's do the program. So basically, this program is written to find if what do you call, if the user is entering a triangle or not. Okay, that's in simple terms. But yeah, just ignore about that. First of all, we have input P. What do you think P should be basically? Obviously, P should be the here. If you read the whole question, we're talking about finding whether it's a triangle or not based on three sides. No, exactly. Obviously, P should be the lengths of those three. So you can mention P as input AB comma BC comma AC. Basically, the three lanes of a triangle. Okay, basically the three lanes of a triangle, right? So AB, BC, and AC, right? Then P is going to be this. So here you're going to check the first condition. You're going to check if AB is greater than BC plus AB, AC. You're going to check if AB is greater than BC plus AC. So we're now going to check if AB is greater than BC plus AC. Okay, let's keep this aside. If you go through this question, they have mentioned that the flowchart follows the rule that sum of any two lengths must be greater than the remaining lengths. Sum of any two lengths must be greater than the remaining lengths, right? Sum of any two lengths must be greater than the remaining lengths. Here we are checking if sum of any two lengths is less than the remaining lengths, right? It's the opposite of what is mentioned in the question. If what is mentioned in the question here and what is mentioned in the condition here are like complete opposite. If you look at it properly, it's complete opposite, right? So based on that term, we can tell it is a triangle if this condition gives me true or if this condition gives me false. In what scenario can we tell it's a triangle? True or false? If you're a person who is telling as true, okay, if you're a person who is telling as true, then you're meaning that if the sum of any two lengths is less than the remaining length, if you're saying that it's true, then your idea is that if the sum of remaining lengths are less than the if the sum of any two lengths are less than the remaining length, it's a triangle. But has the question said less than the remaining length? Has the question mentioned about less than the remaining length? No, the question has mentioned about greater than the remaining length. So based on that, if this condition is true, that means it's not a triangle. If this condition is false only, it is a triangle. First of all, tell me, is that part clear? Because the question is saying the sum of any two lengths must be greater. But here you're going to check if the sum of any two lengths is less. So technically, it's going to be in the false part, right? Let me put it in this way. Okay. We're not saying sum of any two lengths must be greater than the remaining length, but your indirectly meaning is the sum of any two lengths. For example, let's say BC plus AC. You're saying BC plus AC, sum of any two lengths, must be greater than the remaining lengths. That's what you're meaning now. Okay. If this condition gives you true, it's a triangle. If this condition gives you false, it is not a triangle. That is what the question is meaning. First of all, tell me, is that clear for you? That is what the scenario is meaning. Is that first of all clear? Tell me, for all of you. Okay, perfect. Right. If you look at the what we derived based on what we read. Okay, if you look at what we derived, what we wrote, what we read, and what is given in this condition box, or what is given inside this rhombus, are they the same? What we derived and what they have given, are they the same? No. Here you can see I am checking if the remaining two lengths are greater. But in the condition, I'm checking if the remaining length is greater. Look at the difference. Here I'm checking if the sum of the two lengths are greater. Here I'm checking if the remaining length is greater. Tell me, are you clear about the difference? Are you clear about the difference? Symbols are the difference. Got it? Okay. Now, if this condition gives you true, okay, if this condition gives you true, that means the sum of the two remaining lengths are, sorry, sum of the two lengths are greater. If this gives you false, okay, if this gives you false, right, if this gives you false, tell me, is AB greater or is the remaining length greater? Or is AB greater or is sum greater? That sum of lengths are greater or remaining length is greater? If it gives you false, if it gives you false, who is greater? False, false, false. If this condition gives me false, who is greater? AB is greater or remaining length is greater? I think y'all can't first of all think the wrong and then count the correct. All of y'all are like going for the true and then only coming false. Let me ask the question like this, Philip. If this condition is true, who is greater? Sum is greater or AB is greater? If that condition is true, who is greater? Sum is greater or AB is greater? Exactly. Sum is greater means true. So if that condition is giving me false, then who is greater? Sum is greater or AB is greater? If it's giving me false, exactly. If it's giving me false, then AB is greater. Is that part clear up to there? Okay. Now, based on that, tell me, okay, if it is giving me false, that means AB is greater. So based on that, tell me, if AB is greater, right? If AB is greater, is it a triangle or is it not a triangle? A triangle or not a triangle? If AB is greater. Exactly. You can see here we mark the X here. This X is basically we told you it's not a triangle. So if AB is greater, if it's false, basically it's not a triangle. So in this condition, we are checking if AB is greater than AC. So based on that, now here we are checking is AB greater. So if AB is greater, is it a triangle or not a triangle? If it's true, if this condition is true, that means AB is greater. Is it a triangle or not a triangle? It is not a triangle. It is not a triangle. Now is that fact clear for all of you? So based on that, we can say R is going to be not a triangle. So if R is going to be not a triangle, obviously S is going to be a triangle. I will clear with how I found out R and how I found out S. I will come to the last diamond. Wait. I just took the first diamond only. I will be coming for the remaining two. That's not diamonds, rhombus actually. Wait. First of all, let me all of you are clear with how I found R and how I found S. We have found already P here and RS. Fine. Okay. So first I'm checking is AB greater. And if you see the last rhombus, okay, in the last rhombus I'm checking is AC greater. So what is the length I'm not checking currently? Here I'm checking is AB greater. In the last one I'm checking AC. So what is the length I'm not checking at the moment? Exactly. The length I'm not checking is BC, right? So what I should write there, what I should write in this specific box is basically is BC greater than, okay, the remaining two lengths. So what are the remaining two lengths? If I take BC here, what is going to be the remaining two lengths? The remaining two lengths are going to be AB and AC. Okay, AB and AC. So we can write the Q as is BC greater than AB plus AC. Is BC greater than AB plus AC? Because those are the remaining lengths, right? So this is what Q is going to be. Tell me, are you clear now with how I found P, Q, R, and S? P, Q, R, and S. AC plus AB is also fine. Yeah, you can swap and write. That's fine. Okay. Drop me the questions you'll have based on this. So here the answers are basically P is going to be AB, comma BC, comma AC, and Q is going to be BC is greater than AB plus. I pity the people who are what do you call trying to learn programming using questions. Actually, first of all, you should learn the theory and then do questions. If you're directly starting to learn understand programming directly by doing question, this is not a subject like science. In science and all, you can do that. Science and all, you can directly jump to a question and learn the theory. In IT, it's not. IT just depends on the lesson. Program is from the lesson like that. You know the theory and will come here because then all your logics will work properly. But anyways, tell me, are you clear with finding the labels P, Q, R, and S? Anyone having any questions there? Drop me the questions I'll have. How AB is false? Are you sleeping all this time? I did not tell AB is false. I did not tell AB is false. What was the okay? Others tell me. What did I tell here? Did I tell AB is false, or before I said the word AB, I used a word. I said if AB is false. Sorry, I said if this condition is false, who is greater? Okay, if this condition is false, that means AB is greater. That's what I said. And if this condition is true, the sum is great. I was talking about the condition, not AB. Okay, fine. Next one. Focus on every word I tell, because if you directly jump on the middle, you'll be like confused. What the hell am I jabbering? Next one. If the three decision boxes in the flow chart are combined into a single decision box, write down the expression that should be used in that decision box. Right. Normally, if you have multiple conditions, right now we have here how many conditions do we have in this flow chart? How many conditions we have? In this condition, we have three conditions. Okay. If you want to combine multiple conditions together, what type of operator should you use? If you take programming, you have several operators. Huh? You have an operator called as, let's say, arithmetic. You have a type of operator called as conditional operators. You have a type of operator called logical operators. You have a type of operator called as assignment operator. What type of operator do we use to compare multiple conditions? Exactly. If you want to compare multiple conditions, you have to use a logical operator. Okay. Under logical operator, we have three. We have AND gate, so AND operator. We have the OR operator. We have the NOT operator. If we have multiple conditions, okay, can we compare multiple conditions using the NOT operator? No. NOT operator can have how many conditions as an input? Exactly. It can have only one. So this is not suitable. So if you want to compare multiple conditions, you have the AND operator and you have the OR operator. Okay. So let's see, is using AND operator suitable here or is using OR operator suitable here? Okay. Let's see, is using AND operator suitable here or is using OR operator suitable here? What do you think? Before I tell you the answer, what do you think is suitable? Is you no, we are going to have the same conditions, huh? Keeping the same conditions. Okay, keeping the same conditions. If I use AND operator is suitable or operator is suitable? Let's check. Let's check. Okay. Imagine we had something like this. AB is greater than, what are the conditions we have? AB is less than, sorry, AB is greater than BC plus AC. This is one condition. Or the next condition. Is BC greater than AB plus AC? Or if AC is greater than AB plus BC. I wrote the three conditions in AND gate. Okay. Imagine if this burger gave me true, okay, and this burger gave me false, and this burger gave me false. This burger gave me true, this gave me false, and this gave me false. What will be the overall result if I use OR operator? If I use OR operator, what will be the overall result? Exactly. If I use OR operator, the overall result will be true. Perfect. If I use AND operator, what will be the overall result? If I use AND operator, AND operator will give me false. Okay, AND operator will give me false. Okay. As per this flow chart, if it's true, if the condition is true, is it a triangle or not a triangle? As per this condition, if it's true, is it a triangle or not a triangle? It is not a triangle. Okay. But there's one more thing you have to keep in your mind. The question has clearly mentioned that sum of any two lengths must be greater than the remaining lengths. Sum of any two lengths must be greater than remaining. That's the idea of what do you call how you define if it's a triangle. No? So based on that, tell me when we are going to check if the sum of any two lengths greater, is it enough if I check only one length? Is it enough if only if I is it enough if only one of the length is checked? I mean, is it enough only one of the indirectly I'm asking, is it enough if I check only one of the conditions? No. I had to make sure that our rule which we specified here, the sum of any two lengths is greater than. I had to make sure this rule, okay, I had to make sure this rule is being followed by only one condition or two conditions or all three conditions. I had to make sure that rule is being followed by how many conditions? All three conditions or only one or only two? Exactly. All three conditions should be following that, right? All three conditions should be following that. If all three of these conditions follows, it's a okay. If all three of these condition follows, okay. If all three basically all three sides are following that condition, it's true. Fine. But some of you all will do. Some of you will think like, ah, yes, all three conditions should follow. So therefore, we are to put AND gate. Okay, some of you will put. Okay, some of you will put the AND gate. But there is a twist in this question, no, that we discussed earlier. All all three conditions should be true if it is like this. That is, if we are checking a sum of any two lengths. But in this question, who are we checking is greater? Are we checking the sum greater or is the length remaining length greater? Who are we checking greater? Are we as per the given flow chart? Okay, as per the given flow chart, who are we checking is greater? Are we checking? I mean, as per the given flow chart, who are we checking is greater? Are we checking is the remaining length greater or is sum greater? Is the remaining length greater or is the sum greater? Look at the flow chart and tell me. Yeah? As per the given flow chart, what have they mentioned? Have they mentioned of checking is remaining length greater or is sum greater? Exactly. If you look at the flow chart, who are we checking? We're checking if the remaining length is greater. If the remaining length is greater. We have three lengths. We have three lengths. Okay. We are checking is this bar greater, is this bar greater, this bar greater. A while ago, I told you if any of them gives you false, okay, if any of them gives you false, I'm sorry, if any of them gives you, if any of this condition gives you true, right? If any of these conditions gives you true, is it a triangle or not a triangle? If any of these condition gives you true, is it a triangle or not a triangle? Why did I mark the orange color X over there in that? Exactly. I told you if any of these conditions gives you true, it is not a triangle. If any of these condition gives you true, it's not a triangle. So if you are going to replace all of these into one condition, actually you use the or logic, because in or logic you can see if any of the condition is true, right? If any of the condition is true, it will give true. But when will and give it true? And will give true only if all three are true. And will give it true only if all three are true. So technically speaking, we have to use the OR gate here. It might have been confusing. I'll re-explain. But before I re-explain, how many of you understood the fact that it should be OR gate and not AND gate? You understood, tell yes. If you did not understand, wow, not bad. Majority of people understood. Interesting. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let me use the same logic, true, false, false. Okay. Let me use the same logic, true, false, false. Okay. If I use this true, false, false, okay. If I use logic, true, false, false. This is true. I check the first condition. If the first condition itself gave me true, okay, if the first condition gave me true, is ABC a triangle or is ABC not a triangle? If the first condition gave me true, let's forget about B and C. Let's forget about second and third. If the first condition gave me true, is ABC a triangle or not a triangle? It's not a triangle. It's not a triangle. But when I use AND gate here, when I use AND gate, I got true, false, false. When I use AND gate, what was the overall result? Overall result was false. Imagine if I combine all these three conditions to one condition. Okay, if I imagine I have combined all three into one condition and mark this to that R part and mark this to that S part. Okay, as per AND gate, it gave me false, right? So if it's giving false, that means you're saying ABC is a triangle, right? If it's giving me false, you're saying ABC is a triangle. Okay. If it's giving me false, you're saying ABC is a triangle. Is it a triangle? If the first condition is true and the remaining two are false, is it a triangle? No. Got the point now? Now does it make sense? Yes, yes, yes. Did you get the idea now? Yes or no? Yes or no? See, when you use AND gate, even if one condition is even if one condition is false, you will be getting the overall result is false. And as per the given flowchart, if it's false, it's directly a triangle, right? You see, if it's no, it's you're saying ABC is a triangle. Right. Right. So the question is asking, write down the expression that should be used inside the decision box now. So the expression that should be used is this. That is AB greater than BC plus AC, or BC is greater than AB plus AC, or AC is greater than AB plus BC. That's going to be the expression. Is that clear, all of you? Yes or no? How many of you got that correct? Raise your wait, not now, not now, wait. How many of you got wrote as or gate? Like, how many of you wrote that as the correct answer there? Raise your hand, the participant. Let's check. Can I write as AB or BC or AC is greater than BC plus AC or AB plus BC or without brackets you can't mention that. No, you can't. Are read the question properly, man. What has the question told? If the three decision box in the flowchart are combined into a single decision box, write down the expression. So basically, you're going to combine the three decisions. This is one condition, that is another condition, other condition. So you take the three conditions separately. Fine, perfect. Okay, so that's the answer to the second question. In the third one, write the pseudocode representing the logic of the updated flowchart, include the changes that were done in 1 and 2 above. Okay, let's do it. So we have begin. So for start, you write begin. Then we want the inputs. So you like input AB, comma BC, comma AC. You can swap the order. Then if AB is greater than BC plus AC, or BC is greater than AB plus AC, or AC is greater than AB plus BC. Then display ABC is not a triangle. ABC is not a triangle. Else display ABC is a triangle. And if how many of you all got the pseudo code correct? Let me know in the chat. Jujupi, exactly. And only if your Roman number two is correct, your Roman number three will be correct. Because Roman number two, that condition is there. Okay. That use the OR gate there. If you are still stuck with that, how is my answer correct here? I'll give you a similar scenario. Okay, I'll just give you a similar idea. Right? Imagine, okay, imagine what do you call what do you call your school has put the rule to enter the school, you have to have the SRB, you should be there in uniform, and let's say, yeah, yes, you are to have the SRB with you as well as you are to have the uniform with you. Let's say I'm going to check the positive perspective, which means I'm going to come and check, do you have SRB? Do you have uniform? For example, I'm going to come and ask you the question, do you have the SRB? Okay, what is my question? Do you have the SRB? And you said yes. My second question, do you have the uniform? You said yes. Now, if both are true, then yes, it's true. But imagine if I ask the question vice versa. If I come and ask you, do you don't have the SRB or don't you have the SRB? Wait, how does the English come from? Like it's like if I'm going to ask indirect, like the opposite of it. Or if I ask you, let's say, did you not bring no? Didn't you bring your yes or no? If I ask, didn't you bring your SRB? You will be like, you will not give yes or no. Like, or I'll ask, did you not bring your SRB? That doesn't make the grammar is very bad there. Okay. If I ask you, did you not bring your SRB? No. Or let's say, did you forget to bring your SRB? Let's say, if I ask the question, did you forget to bring the SRB? Okay. Did you forget to bring the SRB? Right? Did you forget to bring the SRB? Let's say you said true. And I'm checking, did you forget to wear the uniform? The correct uniform. Did you forget to wear the uniform? You said no. Okay. I asked you, did you forget to bring the SRB? You said yes. I asked, did you not wear the correct uniform? You said no. First of all, did it make sense? Is the question making sense for you? The first question I asked was, forgot SRB. Second question is, wrong uniform. I'm asking, are you wearing the wrong uniform? Okay. First question, did you forget to bring the SRB? Second question I'm asking, you said wrong. No, as per this scenario, okay, as per this scenario, you're allowed in the school, okay, you're allowed in the school when both the conditions are true or when both the conditions are false. As per this scenario, my second one, when both the conditions are, your brain is like, this is too much processing power. Stop. Your brain is crying, I'm pretty sure. Okay, some of you are saying true. Okay, so let's say I'm coming, did you forget your SRB? You said, yes, I forgot. Okay, I'm coming and asking me, I'm coming and asking, did you forget your SRB? You said, yes, I forgot to bring the SRB. Now I'm coming and asking, are you wearing the wrong uniform? You're saying, yes, I'm wearing the wrong uniform. Can you come to the school? Who is the English teacher? No. So tell me, okay, this condition will give you for this, what do you call, you can come to the school when both these conditions are, this condition, when I highlight yellow color, both these conditions are true or both the conditions are false. Again, one person is saying true. If both these conditions are true, that means you forgot this, sir, we are saying true. You forgot to wear the wrong uniform, you're saying true. Okay. I mean, you are wearing the wrong uniform, you're saying, I'm asking, are you wearing the wrong uniform? You're saying true. Okay. You forgot this, you're saying true. So if both are true, you can come to the school. You can come to the school. You can't come to the school, right? No. So if both these give me false, if both the condition give me false, for example, I'm coming and asking, are you wearing the wrong uniform? You said, no, I'm not wearing the wrong uniform. I'm coming asking, are you wearing the wrong uniform? You said false. You said no, basically. I'm coming and asking, wearing the wrong uniform? You said no. I'm asking, are you wearing the wrong, what do you call, did you forget? Sorry. Are you wearing the wrong uniform? You're saying no. So basically it's false. Now I'm coming and asking, did you forget the SRB? Did you forget the SRB? You're saying again no. Okay. So if you say no, when I ask you, did you forget the SRB? You said no. And when I ask, are you wearing the wrong uniform? You said no. What does it indirectly means? It indirectly means that you brought your SRB as well as you're wearing the correct uniform, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. So what is the difference between this left side condition, right side condition? In left side, I'm checking the true part. That means I'm checking. My question is, did you bring your SRB? Did you bring the uniform? In the right side, I did the opposite. Did you forget the SRB? Are you wearing the wrong uniform? The opposite. Okay. If you look at this question also, it is similar. In the green color highlight, what I mentioned in the top part itself, they are talking about the true part. And if you look at the flow chart, the condition is the opposite. They are asking the opposite of it. Got it? Does it make sense now? So I'd like it. If you can remember, I think the first day of paper class, I told you to be good in to be good in programming. First of all, English should be good. Sure, okay, go and check the recording. What I mentioned there. I said to be good in programming, first of all, English should be good, right? Anyways, is that clear, all of you? I guess I have to start teaching all English now. If I start teaching English, your ECRE English also will get worse. Just go and consult a better English teacher. Anyways, that's just for the people who don't understand the logics. Okay. Now the next one. Write the pseudocode representing. Okay, that's the Roman number 3 I did here. Then the Roman number 4. Actually, I love the 2018 paper only. That only makes you use your brains. None of the remaining papers are asking you to use your brains. It's like template, pure template. The remaining questions. Only 2018 has a proper programming question, and 2016 because it was a bit. That was the first one. It was a bit beautiful, but yeah. Even if we studied English medium, we would learn. We would have to learn English to understand the English of our papers. Actually, our school paper is actually very hard because they used to make the English in the Cambridge standard. So purposely our English paper was hard. Our school getting around A for English itself is a big thing. I had to do another English language course, I guess. Yes, I had to. Okay, anyways, come here next. Comes the question. When one or more of the input lengths become zero, when one or more of the input lengths become zero, this algorithm fails to function properly. Write the pseudocode condition that has to be introduced in between the input and the first decision box in the original flowchart to fix this problem. Right. What should be the condition? Let's see at least this if your brain is working properly. Exactly. The condition should be you write the if statement. Huh? They're asking for the condition. No? I write the pseudocode condition. So the pseudocode condition will be if the if part is not compulsory. Okay. I'm just writing the word if as well, but if is not compulsory. The condition is basically if AB is greater than 0 and BC is greater than 0 and AC is greater than 0. Only if all three sides are greater than 0, the program should function. So it should be something like this. If AB, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you want, you can write then as well, but that's not important. The main part that's important here is the condition. Asking the question. The question is asking the condition. The condition should be this. You're checking if all three sides are greater than 0. Only if all three sides are greater than 0, you're going to execute the program. If even one side is not greater, you're saying no, you're having a wrong one, kill something like that. Is that clear, all of you? Let's answer Roman number 4. Yes, I'll give it. How many of you entered? Let me know through the chat. How many of you put or there? How many of you put or there? Through the chat, really. Anyone wrote or? Anyone? At the girl. Wow, your brains are working. Right. So you can break. I found a whole new format even. How many minutes this question takes? You're allowed to use maximum 10 minutes. I can finish this question in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. If I was doing this question, I can do this in 4 minutes, maximum 4 minutes. But you're supposed to spend the maximum 10 minutes. Fine. The time now is 17, 7, 18, 19, 20. So if I give 10 minutes to do a question, again, there's enough of time. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll do something like this. Okay. Uh, I'll give you all time to pray and all those stuffs. If you're done with praying, you can try doing this question. But the problem, if I give you 5 minutes to pray now, 7:17, 7:20, 7:22. So if I'm going to start at 7:22, then if I'm going to give you all 10 minutes to do this question, that's going to be 7:32. What do you call? You all try doing what do you call? So with that, we're done. So what I want you to do is try doing this question. Next week, I will not be giving the time to do a question in the beginning. So next week, I'll be starting off with this question, right? So what do you call? You can pray and come and then do this question. The meeting will be on till 7:30. We are done with the discussion. Today we're going to stop with the 2018 paper. Next week we'll be discussing the 2019 paper, right? Before joining the next week's class, make sure you complete this page, right? Okay. No? So you all can actually go and pray and then come and do this or whatever. The meeting will be on till 7:30. I'll be anyway sharing this PDF in the community as well. Okay. But yeah, so what do you call? Is there any questions you all want to ask before we end and before you leave? And basically, we're done with the discussion. We'll be discussing 19 paper next week. But yeah, is there any questions you all want to ask today? Anyone? If there's any questions, you can stay and ask in the chat. Others, what you can do is you can pray and come and then do this question, or you can do this question and then pray, whatever. We are done with the discussion. We are done with the paper discussion today. So if you all are done, you all can actually, or if you want, you can take a screenshot and do it later as well. But anyways, before next week's class. The maths exam, it says maybe it should be. Yeah, you reload the maths exam, it will be updated. I updated the form later. There, like by default, normally in maths exam you can't enter characters, you can enter the numbers. So, but in this worksheet we had to enter the slash. Because of that, there was an error. I updated later on. You can go and reload the form; it will not even updated. Are the recordings provided for the past two sessions? Yes, it's there in the Master ID YouTube channel as well. It is there in the community as well. This is not related to the paper. Do you conduct physical classes? Yes, I have a physical class at Velavatta and the other physical class at Kolonava. When and where? Drop me a WhatsApp message. I'll just drop the contact number in the chat. You can drop me a message. I'll send you the details. Okay, I'm also going to pray. I'll pray and come quickly. If you have any questions, drop in the chat. I'll come at 7:30 and check it. Did any of you do this question already? Like done? Good. Okay, so I'm gonna end the meeting. What do you call? You can get this paper from the. I'll be what do you call sharing the PDF of today's working, including this page. So I can do this before joining next week's class because, as I said, I'll be discussing this next week. When doing this, if you came across any questions, you can let me know. How do you figure out? It depends on what the count. It depends. There's several parameters. Anyways, before I end the meeting, is there any questions you'll have to clarify? Anyone related to the paper class? Or I mean, related to the ICT, the class. Okay, I'm going to end the meeting. If there's any questions, you can let me know through WhatsApp. Have a nice day. Bye.